Hey guys, welcome to another video. This week I'm going to be making some greeting cards to add to my online shop. And before I get started, I just want to mention that the nails that I'm wearing in this video are custom painted by my friend Alex. And when I have more details about where you can get her custom painted nails, I'll give you guys an update. And now on to the greeting cards. These are the sheets of scrapbook paper that I'm going to be using for these. I'm just going to get started by outlining some of my drawings. First, I have this truck with pumpkins in the back. My thought was to do a bunch of fall cards, but since these are going on my shop now, it's a little late to do that. So I at least wanted to make one, and all of the cards I'll be making in this video will be available on my shop by the time you watch this. My other drawings that I'm outlining here are a cowboy boot, and I did some lettering, and I'm just going to outline grateful for now, because that's all I'm going to use for this video. Once I have those outlined, I'm just erasing the pencil and scanning them into the computer so I can print them as many times over as I want to make these cards. Even if I'm only planning on making one of each of these cards, I still like the option of reusing my designs. It's also nice having a digital file so I can resize the images for the cards if needed. I am going to cut out my drawings and leave a thin white border around the outline. And going into making this video, I didn't have a set plan on how these cards were going to look. I just had an idea in my head, so definitely some planning took place while filming this, trying to figure out the best placement of my drawings in relation to the other pieces of paper and the lettering I used. With my drawings cut out, I'm going to color them with colored pencils. And I'm going to keep the colors pretty traditional and use brown for the cowboy boot. But I was able to find a range of different browns and tans to use in the different sections of the cowboy boot that I drew in, just to keep it from being all one color. And for the truck, I went with a bluish gray. For the pumpkins, I thought about making them all different colors, like greens and beige, but I decided the orange would stand out more and tie in the orange plaid cardstock better. That's also why I decided to draw another pumpkin for the inside of the card. And for this drawing, I thought about scanning it into the computer and reprinting it and using that. But instead, I decided to just go with the drawing itself since it was easy enough. If I decided to make this design again, I could always quickly draw another pumpkin. So at this point, I have all of the pieces ready to put together. So I'm just going to glue those together with a glue stick. And when I make my cards, I like to layer different sheets of paper together. So starting with the orange and white plaid scrapbook paper on the front and inside of the card. I just want to make sure the edges and the corners are fully glued down. Placing my lettering down on this beige paper, and then placing the drawing of the truck, just slightly overlapping that. And for the inside, putting a sheet of beige over top so there's a nice spot to write a message inside. And then placing the pumpkin in the bottom right corner. And moving on to the cowboy boot card, I chose this glittery paisley print paper as my background and decided to add some blue paper as well. And for the blue piece of paper, I'm just making sure I'm getting that lined up with the edge of the paisley print. Then I'm gluing the boot in the center of the card. For the inside of the card, I decided to go with blue paper for the background because the paisley print was too textured to use for the full background. And I decided to cut out a corner of the paisley print and add that as an accent to tie in the design from the front of the card. Originally for the dinosaur card, I thought I was going to leave the notebook paper background around the dinosaurs, and I decided I wanted to add more color to this design by introducing the blue background. I also decided to use more of the original scrapbook paper that the dinosaurs were from. And for the inside, I went with a blue background and more of the notebook paper background. Just finishing up the final touches on this card. Like I said, these cards will be available on my shop. You can find the link to my shop in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.